Hi, everyone. My name is Yair Attar, and I'm the CTO and co-founder of OTORIO. Thank you for joining me today when I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about our joint solution with ServiceNow. First of all, as the basic value proposition, we are enabling full, rich asset discovery and CMDB within ServiceNow. OTORIO's platform RAMSquare identifies very accurately all assets within the shop floor, within the OT environments, and basically automatically updates the ServiceNow CMDB. This will enable all other workflows, integrations, and processes to be highly accurate. Second part is enabling more smoother and automated workflows. So basically opening automatically tickets within ServiceNow with all the information attached from RAMSquare, with information about the assets, the type of findings, and different types of mitigation playbooks. Now we have a joint customer case study. We're talking about one of the largest automotive OEMs globally, with dozens of manufacturing sites, with very large, complex manufacturing sites, where we were able to identify all assets very accurately in a very scalable manner and basically integrate with ServiceNow CMDB, enabling the organization to have an enterprise IT, OT, full CMDB that will enable then workflows and processes and risk management, and basically to enable better, efficient operations of the risks within the shop floors. When we're talking about deployment strategy, just to understand how scalable our solution is compared to others in the market, we have what we call our edge devices. This is a small software that we build, basically a virtual machine, a small appliance, usually more closer to the site itself. What we have, let's take this automotive OEM. Although they have very large sites with a lot of VLANs, and we're talking about dozens of thousands of assets, one edge device is sufficient to collect 100% assets within the shop floor. Even not Ethernet IP assets, even serial devices, level 0 type of devices. And I'll explain in a few minutes how we're actually collecting this data. We're identifying all the gaps, exposures, vulnerabilities, any changes that are happening within the environment to the different assets, and pushing everything into ServiceNow, where we have basically today two main type of integrations. One related to, based on a Service Graph connector related to the CMDB, and another one, an integration based on the incident management to open automatically tickets within ServiceNow. Let's talk about how the solution actually looks like and how they work. So basically, let's talk about the assets in the CMDB. What we're seeing right now are information about the detailed assets. We can see here many type of attributes we're collecting about them. Things like the device type, firmware, serial information, what's the type of device, what do we have, multiple network adapters, slots, and different types of information. Again, the goal is to provide as much information as possible within the ServiceNow CMDB. Once I have that, we're also seeing things like incident management. So not just the assets themselves, but also things like tickets that are being opened in our platform in RAMSquare with all the data information, whether we can aggregate multiple types of findings into one case, into one ticket, whether we want someone specifically to take care of this. Let's take this use case where we have end-of-life assets within a specific area. Then maybe I want to aggregate everything into one case, to one ticket, and assign it to someone to start working based on that. So enabling all those types of workflows automatically. When we're talking about RAMSquare, We're talking about a solution that provides very detailed visibility, what type of assets, different types of information on attributes on different types of assets. And if I'm taking a step further into the details, what we're seeing here are different types of assets, from controllers to HMIs to CCTV cameras to sensors to actuators, RTUs. And for each and every type of asset, we're going to see a lot of information that we're able to collect. What's the type of model, catalog number, how it was collected, things like slots or modules, whether they are relevant here. What are we talking about? HMIs. So we're going to see a lot more information related to Windows machines. What are we talking about? Different engineering stations. Then we're going to see things like installed software, and a lot of type of information on each and every asset, network devices, switches, different type of assets with different types of informations, printers, you name it. This is then also aggregated by operational processes, what really helps us to understand the context automatically and to start prioritizing based on the operational context, which again will be pushed into ServiceNow with the relevant context, area, process, and impact attached. How we're collecting this data. So we talked about, of course, that we have ways which are completely passive, but we know that only passive will not get you full detailed visibility. This is why we have a variety of ways of collecting data to have the most accurate but scalable discovery methods. We're also seeing things here like active discovery capabilities, where we're basically emulating industrial discovery protocols to make sure we're doing it very safe with no impact to operations. This allows us even to do different authentication checks to extract more information when those are on endpoints, based on SNMP, even specific authentication checks for a specific type of assets, collecting level 0 type of devices, so devices that are not connected directly, but behind a specific controller. Let's take example from a Profinet ring and things like that. So again, the options are quite big here. And we also see other types of integrations, whether industrial management solutions, firewalls, everything that's going to help me to enrich the information on the assets and their specific security posture, exposure analysis, and all changes that are happening within the environment. Once I have the different findings within the system, those are being aggregated into cases with the relevant information. And once a case is being opened, what basically happens is a case is being generated with all the relevant information, with the asset information, with potential mitigation playbooks, and this will open a ticket automatically within ServiceNow with all the relevant information to start leveraging the workflows within ServiceNow and then reflect the changes within Ramscur to overall influence the risk and start closing specific types of findings and events. The goal is really to have very smooth operation and enabling collaboration between site and operational teams and global cybersecurity teams situated within the headquarters. So this is in a nutshell what we have today from an integrations perspective within ServiceNow and OTORIO, and we are working on additional integrations related to vulnerability response and risk analysis. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope this was a valuable session for you to understand how we have a better together story.